selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our heart. Now I never been down with no OPP. I talk about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our heart. Hey, hey. Ride him. My mother always say, when you find a donkey, ride it. Who's the donkey? Huh? Come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand. But I can fix this, I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our heart. They're selling our country. Ooh, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our heart. I get everybody sells some every time. They're selling one island, give away one key. What can be left for you and me? Is this the example? What's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride, or go selling too? Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our heart. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our heart. They're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our heart. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our heart.
Whoa, girls, we outdoing it.
Meantime, a resident of a local shantytown community that was the subject of controversy over the weekend, speaking out tonight over the way the fringe groups are, in their view, targeting residents. This, as government says, a systematic approach will be taken to rid the country of shanty structures. Jose Etienne has more on this in this report.
49-year-old Matney France addressing misconceptions about a shantytown community just off Carmichael Road that was under attack by the Coalition of Independents on Saturday past. He's setting the record straight tonight about who resides there.
We don't live free here. We paying rent from Tina. We don't pay, we build a house.
Now, these homes are being occupied by residents who allegedly have been paying nearly $1,000 per month for rent in the past 10 years. And they say while they're aware of government and citizens criticizing their decision to reside in these unregulated communities, they say those who own the land and are collecting monies monthly are not being held accountable as well.
Tina come collect money from us every month. Every house you see in the backyard, every month she come collect the rent. Now, when I come open, when we say, Tina, we can stop paying till you give us a receipt. Because we need something. If a government comes back down, we could show him. We start paying from end to the next end. She said, you got to go to the police to give us a receipt. Over 6 years later, she never came back to give us a receipt.
His comments coming days after COI leader Lincoln Bain and other supporters went to that community marking homes for demolition, further claiming that they had a court order for them to vacate the land. These attempts were, however, foiled by police, and France says it appears that they're being targeted.
They try get Haitian do something, they make us look bad. We don't looking for this. We don't looking for fight, we don't looking for murder, we don't looking for nothing. We just come in, like I've been coming in the back there, really to fight with us.
He's also expressing concern that COI, in their attempts to demolish shantytown structures, could create a nightmare for those residents.
Myself, I could go rent a place to live with my kids. I get 3 kids who born here. And I said, how about the rest of them people who ain't doing nothing? And always in the Suleiman back there, maybe 99% on them straight. They say they can burn all them houses down with systemic. So if I get my kids, I go to work, I get all my documents inside the house. When I come in, I see all my house burned down with my kids' document. You know how hard I got to work to find them document back? Very hard.
Now, here's where France has an issue. He claims that Bain's documents were not the real deal.
He bring the fake letter in the back here. The letter he bring in the back here, he pull that to the computer, he bring the letter. He don't even know how the properly start in the back here, how it stop.
So he's hoping that when government begins to make its rounds of demolition, that its agents walk with valid documents in hand to prove their identity and conduct the process humanely.
Say, you guys, we don't need no more shantytown. We got to build house for sale for them people, or we got to go rent an apartment, or whatever, what government said. We got to get real letter from government.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, in news from the courts tonight.
Good, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. We always appreciate having you here. I'll start over. It is a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, the 28th day of February in 2023, the year of our Lord. And it's always good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Remember to share the live. Let's get the news out there because you know that the media has been tainted, the media has sold out, and they are on a mission to make sure that the status quo remains. The status quo meaning that Bahamians are left last class in this country. Now the media is spreading lies on behalf of criminals. That is what they're doing, and that is what we're seeing. I want to thank all of you who are tuning in from wherever you are all around the world. We're broadcasting everywhere. We're broadcasting on several Facebook channels and YouTube channels and other platforms, including Twitter and LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera. So we're broadcasting all over social media. I don't think there's anything that is left untouched. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. All right. Someone says, Lincoln, you need to start campaigning. Oh, we've been doing that. You don't have to worry about that. We're all over this. We're not taking this lightly at all. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. Let's continue to share the live. Tag some persons, tag your friends and family. Make sure they get on here. We're going to talk about a couple of things tonight. I wanted to make sure that you understand what is going on, because I have to educate you about the weapons that they're using to keep the Bahamians last class. And you would have seen that Philip Brave Davis would have hired several persons in the media and moved them to different areas, giving them jobs so that they won't have a voice out there. Leave junior rookie media personnel, for the most part, to deal with the government. Ones that they could intimidate, ones who were careful and they needed their jobs so that they could control what's going on. And also you saw that owners of media houses were given certain prominent positions, ambassador positions, et cetera, et cetera. And you see one of them traveling all over the world with Philip Brave Davis himself and arranging a deal for our $9 billion in carbon credits to make sure that that goes wherever they want it to go. And so there's a simple sellout situation. And I have to make sure, if the new Bahamas is going to continue, I have to make sure that you understand what's going on, so you know what to tell your family and friends, so they know not to trust this news media that is out there. All right. So thank you all so much for joining and being here. I'm going to get right to this. So, all right, we got about just over 1,500 persons watching from around the world right now. Let's get that up to 2,000, and we'll be good. All right. So, ladies, this weekend we decided as Bahamians to take a stand. We decided that enough was enough, and we took a stand at Justina Curry property. We decided to defend the Bahamian. The government decided to defend immigrants, including illegal immigrants. They decided to defend the persons who threatened this woman's life, threatened to kill her, who destroyed her house, destroyed her crops, and did all manner of things to this woman. They treated her like nothing in the Bahamas, kicked her off the land. And the government decided to defend her. Now the media has come out to their aid. And the media, particularly I'm talking about now, is Eyewitness News. We saw the editorial that The Guardian did in Full of Lies and Misconception and Deceit. The Tribune did a pretty fair article. They did a pretty good job with theirs. But this Eyewitness News article, Eyewitness News has now become officially a Haitian tabloid. That is what it has become. With that story, and I'm going to pick through that story for you and then show you the truth that they could have seen for their very selves, but they chose to spread lies. The first thing I want you to see is the man they were interviewing. I want you to pay attention to this man and who he is. Let's play it again so you can get his name.
Meantime, a resident of a local shantytown community that was the subject of controversy over the weekend, speaking out tonight over the way the fringe groups are, in their view, targeting residents. This, as government says, a systematic approach will be taken to rid the country of shanty structures. Jose Etienne has more on this in this report.
49-year-old Matney France addressing misconceptions about a shantytown community just off Carmichael Road that was under attack by the Coalition of Independents on Saturday past. He's
Martin France. Let's remember that name, ladies and gentlemen. Martin France. This gentleman you're looking at right here is the gentleman who threatened that woman and bullied her and kicked her off her land, off our land. Martin France. That's his name. Martin France. Remember that name. Did you hear how Jose Etienne, the news reporter, talked about what happened? He called it an attack. Remember, that's the same thing he called it when we went to Paradise Island, when we exposed that these Haitians had taken over houses on Paradise Island, which, by the way, they are doing all over New Providence. You had to just run one of them on West Bay Street, or a house on the beach, a mansion on the beach that they were doing work on, and they know that the person who was doing the work, who had hired them, was not here and had gone away, and they decided to bring some persons with them, fresh out of Haiti, just arrived from Haiti, and they were taking over this mansion, two-story mansion on West Bay Street. Haitians were. They recorded them. And they caught them and chased them from that house, all of them. But they're doing this all over New Providence now. It's not just the shantytowns. They're taking over abandoned buildings or houses that they know that persons are not in. This is happening right now as we speak, all over New Providence, including Village Road and other places. Y'all better wake up. But the Haitian gentleman, Martin France, let me show you exactly who he is, and I'll come back to that story. Martin France is the one who threatened that lady, but I want you to see something curious about what happened on Saturday. I want you, it'll be hard to hear because there's so much noise around, but I want you to listen carefully to this. That was the man who threatened to kill Curry if she ever came back. Miss Curry reported it to be Barnaby right there on the scene. She said, "This is the man who threatened to kill me. He threatened to kick my ass," is what she said, "and he threatened to kill me." And BK Barnaby pretended like he couldn't even hear her. "I'll talk to you alone. He pretended like she didn't even say those words. Watch this carefully.
This is your personal property. Not America.
Just you let me talk. Please stand on that.
I said I am going to talk to you alone. What the law? No, you're breaking the law.
I am going to talk to you alone. No social media and nobody else. Okay, ma'am? I hear you. Then you and I were talking aside. Like I said, you and I were talking aside, ma'am.
Yeah, but Mr. Barnaby, this is her personal property. You do not have the right to take her personal property, Mr.
Did you hear her say it several times? He threatened me. He threatened me. And BK Barnaby totally ignored her. BK Barnaby was originally over on the other side where the Bahamians, he was talking to her. Bahamians had gathered around her. He left from them and went to this man who had threatened to kill her, the perpetrator, who had done all this wrong and evil, who encouraged most likely all of those people that come on that land after he threatened her. BK Barnaby walked over and was standing up talking to him. He walked up to the perpetrator. He walked up to the criminal and then started to defend him. Look at this from the beginning again.
This is your personal property. Not America.
Just you let me talk. Please stand on that.
I said
This is a gentleman. This is a gentleman. He threatened me. You heard her? This is a gentleman. He threatened me. But instead of dealing with that man, look at him aggressively at the woman. Look at how he is treating a Bahamian. Look at how Bahamians are treated in this country. There's a different law for Bahamians and a different law for anyone else. This criminal is being defended by our police force. Look at how he's pointing at her. And all she is saying is, he threatened me. This is a nurse who lost everything to these thugs. Lost her house, lost her crops, lost her property, lost everything. And look at how he is shouting at her. But he was there talking nice and kindly to the illegal immigrant. Watch more.
No, you're breaking the law.
I'm going to talk to you alone. No social media and nobody else. Okay, ma'am? I hear you. Then you and I were talking to the side. That's what I'm saying. You and I were talking to the side, ma'am.
Mr. Swanabe, this is her personal property. You do not have the right to touch her personal property, Mr. Swanabe.
No one will do no demolition on here until further notice.
And what happened? And why?
No one will do no demolition until further notice.
Look at how he started the Haitians started cheering. The Haitians have heroes, and they are the government and the police force who are protecting them. They are their heroes. They are working on their behalf. If the Bahamian people can't see this, then you don't deserve to have this country. There are people spinning this story and it seem like we did something wrong because we were pretending the victim. They were victim shaming. They were saying that Lincoln is out of order. There's a way to do things. What is the way to break down a vacant building on your property? Yes, we ask people to leave because it's our property. We have a right to ask them to leave. And if they choose to leave, then they leave. And the property becomes vacant also. What's wrong with that? You don't need a court order for that. If you want your tenant to leave your house, you have to first give them an eviction notice. And you have to come and tell them to leave. And if they leave, then they leave. You don't need a court order for that. But in order to enforce it, you get a court order. There's no law that says you must get a court order to put someone out of your house. But in order to enforce it, the eviction notice, you go to the court. If you tell someone to leave your house and they just leave, you don't have to go to the courts. And people are making it seem like they know the law and the process, but they are so ignorant. It is utter stupidity. It's her property. There's proof that it's her property. And so she can ask anyone she wants to leave with or without a court order, with or without any kind of order. But if she sees vacant buildings on her property and she wants to break them down, and we choose to go and mark those, that is her choice. Someone asked me about humane and being humane. How humane is this woman being treated? Did you just see a police officer? Did you just see that? Did you just see a police officer pointing his hand in her face while she was trying to make a complaint? While she was crying for help? That this is a man who threatened me. Now do you see evidence that she is complaining to police but getting no help? That is proof of it right there. You witnessed it. The police have a duty if you make a complaint to them by law. That's what they taught me. If someone makes a complaint to you, you have to take action. You must. You don't have a choice in that. But of course, the Haitians have a champion. Ladies and gentlemen, we need up. I want to show you some more because that news story, that wicked news story by The Guardian, not The Guardian, the Irish News, same thing. They tried to make it seem like this woman was collecting rent. They could could not have watched the live, even though they did the story based on the live. They could not have watched the live I watched. I'm going to show you why. Because several instances during that, you will see evidence. While there were a couple of people lied, they were debunked immediately. There were several instances where persons admitted that that wasn't true. They didn't collect rent. She didn't collect rent from them. One was in the church. I will say to you, I'm concerned as to whether that was actually a church or not. I didn't see anything in there that says that that's a church. I've seen, and again, I can't confirm or deny whether it is, but I was very curious as I was standing in there, because I've seen the places they do voodoo rituals, and you can go on YouTube and you can see, and they have the open floor just like that, and they're actually on the floor, and sometimes they're in the middle of there doing this. And if you look at it with no sound and not able to hear it, you won't be able to tell the difference between them and a jumper church. But that's set up like a voodoo place of worship. I didn't see any cross. I didn't see anything that says to me that that's a church. I could be wrong, but I was very concerned as I was hearing them doing their chanting, etc. That is that really a church? Is it? I was wondering. I'm going to play the church. The reason I'm playing this is because while they were in the church, I asked them if they paid their rent. Everyone in there said no. So that lie would have been easily debunked by Eyewitness News. But they choose to spread lies. None of the papers reported this part of it. Let's watch it. I'm sorry, I was supposed to pull up one of those voodoo rituals for you, how they actually do the service, because voodoo is a religion. It's not like Obe. Obe is a practice. Voodoo is a religion. They have many gods, over 100 gods, and they worship and they deal with the good deities, the bad deities, the demons, the angels, and all this kind of stuff. And I was just curious. Again, I can't say, but look at it. I'm willing to give you some time to remove all of your property. And she is going to demolish the property, the house, the shacks on her property. Today. Okay? So, everyone understands? Yes? Okay. And so, we need you. We need you. Hey, did anyone here pay rent to Miss Justina?
Okay, so
no.
I
Okay. So this is the church full of people, and none of them paid any rent to Miss Justina. All right. So people out there was told to tell that lie in order to store. All right. So we're gonna be fair. You'll get together, you'll work together, remove all of your stuff, and then Miss Justina is going to possess her land. She's going to remove the houses. Everyone stand there?
Okay, I want to talk to you.
All right, I will give all of you 1 hour.
Okay.
You can move it outside of the building into the yard. Let me get permission. I can't make any decision. This is Justina. I'm only speaking for her. All right? Yeah, she's right. She is outside. She has a respiratory, so she don't want to come inside. All right? Now, I'm going to ask her if you could have them store stuff in the church for a short period of time. You understand? And then, but they have to move because the houses are going to be removed. All right? That's fair? Yeah? Okay. Let me talk to Justina. I'll come right back. Where's the sound? Where's the sound? Okay, awesome. We're there. The mic is good. As you can hear, you heard it for yourself that they admitted for themselves that she did not collect any rent from them, that they paid her no rent, that she did not charge them rent. All right. You heard it for yourselves. These people came there and they were just taking over. You know, that's what they were doing. They were basically squatting on this land. And someone told them that, listen, just say you was paying rent and they have to take you. So someone is defending them and teaching them what to say. All right. That's what they're doing. And so, again, look at that building. I didn't see no cross, no nothing, no the regular stuff you have in a church. They're all sitting on in the open floor, like how they do in the voodoo rituals. And that was concerning to me. So maybe there's a church. I could be wrong. It's hard to tell. But here is that pastor also admitting that he just squatted out. He didn't pay any rent. He said he wanted to go and find out. But this the pastor saying it also.
People this that
So you watched the video that we're going to be here this morning?
No.
Just the part that was cut off just now. He said people just came here and just built. That's what he was saying. People just came here. That's when the video started. And they just built the houses. He admitted that. All right. He was being honest. And here's what he said.
So you didn't know we was going to come here this morning?
You say you build the church.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't get permission. You couldn't find out.
No.
But you just came and built the church.
Yes, sir. Because God sent me here to you.
What do I bring confusion?
No.
All right. So you live on this property?
No, sir.
You just put the church there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Without a permission. How long you been there?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yes, sir.
I never saw the church here when we was here before. All right. Well, we can deal with that. We can talk to you later. We come to take some action in this area. Because this.
And so you heard it yourself. He said it. He just came there and he just built. He was there for a year and a half and he just took over. He just did what he had to do. That's it. He did not get permission. How is it that the news media saw all that other stuff, but they didn't hear that? That's how the video started. So they didn't have to wait deep into the video to hear that. That's how it started. That was the beginning of our live broadcast. Right there. How is it that the media is now spreading false information to the general public and they feel good about that? How could that be? Jose Etienne also lied and said that these people are paying rent of up to $1,000 a month. Listen, Jose, I understand your heritage and your background and need to lie for your people in the life scenario. $1,000 a month, and they build the house themselves, and then they pay $1,000 a month. Jose Etienne, that particular lie borders on stupidity. Some editor should have said, Jose, that one don't even sound realistic. If you pay in $1,000 a month and you had to build a whole house and you get no plumbing, no electricity, no nothing, you could go in an apartment anywhere in this country. $1,000 a month, Jose Etienne? $1,000 a month? Eyewitness News? That's what they're paying for the ground? Because they say they build a house. Eyewitness News is now officially a Haitian tabloid. $1,000 a month, Jose Etienne lied and said. But the Haitian who did lie and paying said he paid yearly, and he said $700 a year. So when you lie, you have to remember what you said. Because first you told someone $400 a year, then you came back and said $700 a year, then $400 was down payment. And watch this. Jose Etienne, please watch this. I'm trying to help you all give us credible news media. Because if you all think that Bahamians are actually falling for this, they're not. You may think that, oh, that was a good story, but Bahamians are seeing through you. So I asked him if they pay yearly or if they pay monthly. And he asked her if she paid année or whatever.
That they paid.
Pay $400 for the year?
No, it's $700. $400 down.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Because you tell me 400.
You ain't trying to listen to what
I
I'm
listen.
saying.
There's someone else with that same conversation. So you want 4 persons to that same conversation. And that's fine, yeah. That's a godmother. Yeah, that. And I understand. That's why I said. Right.
It's $700 every year. She gave $400 down. They said the son's supposed to come back and give the receipt.
If I buy something from Kelly's.
So while Jose Etienne is reporting that they pay $1,000 a month, this man here was lying. Of course, he was lying because he ain't got a receipt. And they told him to say, oh, say that they don't give you a receipt. That's the new lie now. They don't give you a receipt. That's the new one. The man is saying he pays $700 a year. Jose Etienne said they were paying $1,000 a month for 10 years. $1,000 for 10 years. $12,000 for 10 years. $120,000 they're saying she made of each of them. Each. $120,000 of each of them. I don't know what to say, Eyewitness News. Because if you calculate how many houses there, we personally count about 30 houses and $120,000 times 30. Let's do that math. Let's see how that woman is a millionaire. Yo, let's calculate that. Calculate that quick for me. 120,000 times, we calculate about 30, about 50 houses. Sorry, I said 30 because that's what we actually counted, but we didn't. That's $6 million. They're trying to say Miss Justina made $6 million. That's what Jose Etienne saying. That Miss Justina made $6 million. And this woman going from house to house living with people because they kick her off the land. The place she was staying in Dorian, in Abaco, was destroyed in Dorian. But she got $6 million, Jose Etienne. Eyewitness News. Wait, there's more. Because there was another Haitian there who was honest. And he had actually, you can't hear him saying it, but remember that during the live, the camera was just warm, so we missed him saying it, but persons reported that he said it, that, she had warned them that they have to move, 1, and 2, that she didn't collect any rent from them. So here's that.
Yeah, they know you don't collect rent. That's a lie they was telling. They know
The
that.
Haitian man just admitted.
He admit what?
He admit that she give him more. That she give them more in a long time, right?
Yeah, and she don't collect rent.
And she don't collect
She
rent.
don't collect no rent for this.
Lying.
I'm not lying, boss. Trust
Why
me.
you standing here?
You need to be parking.
Go park your stuff. Go park your stuff. The police come out there and they can more up and more coming.
I'm not lying.
Ladies and gentlemen, an honest one was right there because that fellow there was lying and saying he paid rent. That was another one that said he paid rent. But the other Haitian, his friend, said, no. We don't pay rent. Don't do that. We don't pay rent. But look at how the media is trying to spin the story. But wait, there's more. Jose Etienne, there's more. not only were they not paying any rent, but they were building homes and charging people rent. But no news media covered that. These people admitted to charging people rent on our land. So if someone was paying rent, they probably was paying to their own Asian people, but not to Miss Justina. Watch this. This is their clear confessions.
Go on. Start moving your stuff. The tractor is coming. He is moving. You renting them? He paying you rent.
He paying you rent? Yeah. Who paying you rent?
Man, you was landlord.
You landlord.
No, you can't come and rent our on our property.
You can't do it.
No, this was Crown land.
This is Crown land. This land is
Just take your stuff. If you want me to work. Because you have no right. This was Bahamian Crown land that was issued to this lady. You have no right to rent to people. All right? That's what you was doing, renting to people. You have no right to do that. Go and tell those people that they need to move out. Justina is going to demolish. All right? We give you 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
All right? All right? So, you're going to...
Yeah, he was taking money for them.
Go get the people. No, he is a landlord. He come to our country and he rented. He rented to them.
Yeah, you a landlord? I never meet you. I never meet you.
Let me just check this police one.
So the first gentleman, I know it was no sound, the first gentleman admitted that he built a duplex and he was living one part and renting out the other part. This other gentleman has about 4 or 5 houses there and duplexes, and he's renting to the Asian people. No one in the news media covered that. Not one. They didn't even ask about that. Let's not let the Bahamian people know that these people take our land and making money off it. You know how hard it is for you to get to acquire a rental property that you could rent and make some money to live off? These people get to live free and they get the rent free. They get to get a whole piece of property to build a duplex, and they're building triplexes now. And they get to make free money. And people are defending that. And the news is covering that up. They did a whole news story with a bunch of demonic lies from the man who threatened to kill a woman. They actually gave him airtime. The man who threatened her. I don't know what else to say. I don't know where we go from here. And now, the flip side of the story, the other side of the story is that your ministry, the government, now putting together a comprehensive plan to provide aid for residents of the shanty towns. They spent all day on the radio stations trying to vilify me. All day today trying to vilify me with half-truths and innuendos. I saw some clown emailed, text me and said, well, you should know the process to demolishing buildings on land. I do. If it's your land, you can demolish whatever you want. Now, if there are people living there, like people you're renting to, that's a different story. And that's why they're telling the lie that she's renting. If people voluntarily move out of a building, it's now vacant, you can demolish it on your land. What disturbs me the most about this whole transaction was that all of the immigrants agreed. And you watch the one in the church. I asked them, I said, do you all understand? Do you all agree? They agreed to move. You heard them say yes. One woman said, yes, sir. They agreed to move peacefully. That would have been the first shanty town in the history of the Bahamas where the people moved peacefully. But no, Brave Davis don't want that. They want to defend his people and keep them there. They would have been gone by now. And Justina would have had justice. This is not the Bahamas I want to live in. This is not the Bahamas I want to live in. I want to live in the Bahamas where we benefit from our natural resources. I want to live in the Bahamas where we benefit from our carpets. I want to live in the Bahamas where they put Bahamians first. Y'all mind if we could have that Bahamas? I believe that man, there's a criminal leader, and they know that they're hiding drugs and guns, etc., in those buildings, and that person sitting on those buildings. I believe that that's what's going on. And that's why they call for corrupt backup. Corrupt. Let me open the phone lines. There's some more things I need to touch on, but let me open the phone lines. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. 803-5995. Come talk to me. Let's talk about what BK Barnaby did. 803-5995. Let's talk about what Brave Davis did. Let's talk about it. And I heard a rumor. I heard that Brave Davis instructed the Attorney General. Remember we did a live last year, August, where some elderly ladies were on the farm. Bahamian ladies were on the farm, and Officer Carroll came and just started harassing them, and he locked them up and kept that elderly lady there. One of them just had back surgery, and she was really injured really bad. And they kept them there for 2 days, on that concrete floor. They were mistreated, violated, in their opinion. This is from August. And we're hearing that the Attorney General was given instructions from Brave Davis, or the Attorney General gave his own instructions to now charge those women with trespassing on Crown land, or damaging the dirt or something like that. Damaging dirt. Damaging dirt. So they can't and won't touch the Haitians on the Crown land. They defend them, but Bahamians they want to lock up Bahamas. I don't know if that's the country you all want. I'm sorry, I think it's on silent. Yes, it is. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if that's the country you all want. That's not the country that I'm going to tolerate. Okay, see your calls. You got a call back in. Okay, call's coming in now. Good afternoon. You're live.
Hello.
Hi, you're live.
This is Lincoln. Yes, Lincoln. I want to contribute to the issues, several issues with Saturday. For one,
Go ahead.
let me ask you something. Can Ms. Curry, I should say, charge BK Bonamy for interfering with a private property?
Yes, she can.
Do you have legal rights to do that?
Yes, he was trespassing. No one called him there. She didn't call him onto that land. And he was trespassing. He also kidnapped us.
Yeah, she seriously needs charging. He is totally out of order. Like, this man think he above the law. But what kind of country they operating in this Bahamas, man? Well, what's this going on?
You all put a gangster to be prime minister.
Not me. They would have not. I'd vote for the Roach before I vote for them. And secondly, I heard Brave Davis on Eyewitness News today. Somehow in his story, he has this plan now that the illegal immigrants, they'll process them and send them back home. The ones that take us, they will contact their sponsors to find place to house them, and the Bahamians, he told them to find somewhere to go. Did you hear that?
What he needs to do is lock up their sponsors, because we have laws to cover that. I heard him say that, but we've heard that over and over.
Right.
We've been hearing that for the last 60 years. What I am not interested in is talks. And the 21st century Bahamian cannot entertain talks. We entertain action. Because I'm hearing from persons in Abaco that the raids are a sham that they've been doing to force them to do it. And they're letting these people back go. They're seeing people who's arrested. They're seeing some of them right back there.
Right.
All right. And so we're not interested in talk. They have been telling us what they could do from before election. They came in telling us what they're going to do. Year one come, they tell us what they're going to do. Why you still tell us what you're going to do? We don't care what you're going to do. This is almost 2 years and you ain't do it yet.
Right.
They keep hiding behind this lie about this court thing, you know, and they keep Bahamians ignorant. And that's how they take advantage of us. That court decision had nothing to do with them breaking down shanty towns in the Bahamas. And they could have gone the same way they went and did a summons to tell the judge what they wanted to do. They could have done that from the beginning. The FNM could have, they could have. From the beginning. They chose to hide behind it. And they're making it seem like now we could go and do something. You always could have.
Right. My last point, Lincoln, is all those houses in the back there. What store facility those people using?
Which toilet facilities?
Yeah.
The Bush.
Man, you can't be serious. All those people dumping their waste in toilet.
Yes.
Okay, so Brad Davis have a clear-cut fix now to go back to the court and say the shanty towns and now, so they don't have facilities, toilet facilities, so we need to destroy them then. Okay,
They could touch Bahamians before they touch them. Trust me on that. They coming for Bahamians before they fool with them. That's big money right there. See, we was Saturday, we was touching their money. We was messing with their income.
Boy, Lincoln, all we can do the prayer warriors. We got to pray these. I strongly believe we have the attention of God on this one. We can get rid of this evil, satanic group of people. And I talking to the illegals, you know, I talking to these half-breeds we've been allowing to run our country for 50 years. They got the first step for the next 50 years and be solely for full blood Bahamians.
Yes, what about that so-called church? That look like a church to you?
What church, Lincoln? You said all you could hear was chanting. What kind of church? That wasn't no church.
Thank you.
No, that wasn't no church, but
Thanks for your call.
thank you too.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Good evening, you're live. Good evening, you're live.
At this point, Mr. Gabe, I just want him who are listening. If you are in a position where you cannot sustain or maintain your homes or your mortgage, cheaper behemoths go in the shanty towns and build and live free. You know?
Yep.
Because if everybody else could do it, why we have to pay taxes? Why we have to pay mortgages? Why we have to pay rent and they get to live free?
Yeah.
It don't make sense. So
yeah.
Just go on the land and live.
Wow.
Go on the land and live.
Wow.
And just tell them, you know, you Haitian, or your parents are Haitian, I guess they leave you alone.
Wow. Wow. I don't even know what to say about our country anymore. And what disturbs me is not the politicians. I know why they're doing it. They're doing it so that they can keep making money and keep raping us. But the people who entertain their excuses and entertain and spread their lies, that's what I don't understand. For the life of me. Thank you for your call.
Yes, sir.
That's what I don't understand. 803-5995, the number is right there. 803-5995. I saw a news, a fake tabloid story by the PLP website, Bombers Press. No story that they've ever done has been a real story. No story they've done on me has been a real story. And I was shocked to see that there were people who still share this they spread about me, about minutes paying for my hotel room. I was shocked that sensible people actually shared that. And I was ready to insult a couple of people, but I said, you know what, let me just hold my composure, because you have to be stupid to share something from BP. Anyway, good evening, you're live.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
Wonderful. I'm always listening, always watching, tuning in.
Thank you so
I want
much.
to say something. I don't need you to have a conversation. I want to make a point.
Go ahead.
The world saw what went down with those Shantown's persons. No one can fabricate a story more than Haitians. I have Haitian friends. I don't knock them. But they will fabricate a story, and it's so sad when the media is allowing them to speak to the world, because our nations is being watched by world. The Bahamas is being watched. But I want to say something. Those same people they are defending, they are going to have a riot and they're going to deal with them. Let me tell you how God operates. The very ones that you fight against on for, they're going to come against you. The government today will see the hands and the repercussion of the hands of God upon their hands, because of what they're doing. We know what is going on is wrong. How can a police officer come there and stop what's going on with police assisting? Is the court confused, or is the government police confused about their laws? We will see the victory. You don't have nothing to worry about. You are vindicated by God. And once you stand on the word of God, which is truth, nothing they can do to you, Mr. Bain. Mr. Bain, trust me, not as a woman, but as a woman that knows God speaks, and God will honor you. He is lifting you up, but you will have to go through a war. Your battle don't belong to you, that belongs to God. This country has been turned over as a reprobate, and God has already moved his hand off the ones that are not with him, and he's keeping his hands on the people like you and everybody else that want to see justice, not for the Bahamas, not for the PLP, not for the FNM, for the Bahamian people at large. These people cannot do that. If they could have killed their own prime minister and killed so many of their own police, what do you think with us? Bunch of stupid policemen would be out on the force.
Yeah.
We're going to see the hands of God on them. We're going to see the wrath of God deal with them. Those people are fighting for, that's what we're going to watch. And I want you to sit back and don't do nothing, because those people who they're fighting for are going to fight them. It's coming.
Yeah.
Night, bless night.
Thank you.
God
Good
bless
night. All right. Go straight back to the phone lines. You're live. I am awesome. How you doing?
Pretty good. Question. In the case of Ms. Curry's situation, the police are aware that after the 30 days of issuance of the eviction notices, if the people intentionally stay on the property, they are guilty of criminal trespass. Are they aware of that?
I'm not sure if they're aware of that, but to be honest with you, if you tell them to leave immediately and they don't leave, that is criminal trespass.
Okay.
Immediately.
But they're still there. Yeah, but they're
Yes,
still there.
they're still there. Because they have heroes working for them in government. The Prime Minister has said that he is going to look out for them, and he is doing just that. And all of these exercises were there to show you that they are working for the Haitian immigrants.
Yes. Well, I guess the other part of that, are we going to be, I say this as if I was there, but are we going to be persistent in going back there to do the demolition?
Of course. Yes, we will.
Okay.
We're not finished with that yet.
Are we waiting for anything from the courts? But we have everything from the courts that we need, right?
We don't need anything else to go and do any demolition there. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Okay. Well, sir, I wish you well. We're fighting an uphill battle because of misinformation. But seems to me, though, if I can see it, I'm way over here. That others should be able to do it too, because you don't do things like this. No country I know of in history sends away their revenue.
Yeah.
They just don't do that. They don't do that.
Yeah.
And for people to be in a country where there's no electric grid, no water grid, no sanitation grid, no districting of the houses for street running, all this, just basic stuff that I'm running off the top of my head. You can't let folks build houses on property that's not theirs anywhere they want to, any way they want to. There's just stipulations about all of that. And
yes,
so
there is.
When a country does that, they say you got to look at who is paying who, because somebody's getting paid here.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your call, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995 is the number. And so we are at a crossroads, Bahamas. We're at a crossroads. We heard that the prime delegation from here went. There were no security experts that went with them or senior officers that went with them. As far as I know, I saw the list of persons who went down. I don't understand what the purpose of that was. It was a pure waste of time. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're live. You're live. Okay. The person called from a private number, and I guess they didn't want to talk. All right. These people went down to Haiti. I don't know what it is they're trying to do in Haiti, but I can tell you that they don't know Haiti. They are absolutely wasting their time. They don't understand Haiti, and they're just putting on a show. It's nothing that Brave Davis or any of these people can do in Haiti. Let's go to phone lines. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bean. From what I could see, the only thing really left for the PLP to do is send all our Defense Force boats to Port-au-Prince and start transporting all the Haitians in the Bahamas. That's the next thing I see. The government done doing everything else. And the thing about it, the guy told you, Mr. Bain, he's renting that building. He rented that to Haitians, and they didn't even took his name or to lock him up a legal landlord. A illegal building, the police have all this information, and crime is being in the front of them, and they're doing nothing, Bahamas. Absolutely nothing. But if it was me or you would go to Bill, bring it to them, they would harass us and lock us up for trespassing. Even if Ms. Curry gave us permission to build on her land. I mean, Mr. Bain, but this is, and something else, Mr. Bain, I want to tell you this for a very long time. The telephones you use that we're talking to on, these should actually go in a authority bag when you're not using it. This way, no signal goes in that bag or can leave out of that. And the phone that's your primary phone that you use, you're supposed to take it to a specialist and let them disconnect all the cameras in the phone, including the mic. And anytime you want to use that phone, you connect a part of mic to it, and when you finish, you disconnect it. This way, no one can listen in if they have that technology. Thank you and good night, Mr. Bain. Good
Thank you.
night with you. And I want to be one of them standing next to you. When they start their problem, you understand? You said last night you're not going to stand alone, Mr. Bain.
Yeah.
I want to be there with you, and I'm sure other behemoths want to be with you.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you. Good evening, you're live.
Good evening. How you doing, Lincoln?
Awesome.
Radio. You know what bothered me the most on Saturday, and I don't know if people caught this, when DK Barnaby Jr. came there and he said, I heard him ask you, this your land? And then he asked the lady, like, where the papers, or I think he asked you for the papers, or the lady for the papers of the land. My thing is, you said there's but 50 houses on that shanty town, in that shanty town?
Yes.
So did he went around and asked the 50 of them people where they papers?
Nope.
So that's what bothered me about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You came there, all those people around there, all those houses, and the lady who owned the property where her papers is, but what happened to the rest of those people? You know what I mean?
That's a serious point.
Yeah, so that really bothered me. I don't know if people caught that, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that proved my point right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
All right. Thank you for your call, man.
All right, buddy.
All right. This right here is how behaviors are being treated. This seems to be the mentality of the BLFNM, but Leslie Miller explained it good. Now, he was talking about how he treats women, but this is actually how the politicians treat us. Listen to this.
That's like beating your wife or your girlfriend every time you go home. You just beat her for looking at her. I love you. Boom, boom, boom. I had a girlfriend at that, but I don't beat. She used to tell me, I love her no more because I did. But seriously, I had one like that. I had one. You know, to tell me.
You know that you're joking with that.
I'm serious with that. Until I get tired, man, my hands hurt a little bit. Give me a break. I'm telling you the truth. One thing I don't do is lie.
He said, that's like, you have your wife or your girlfriend and just beat them for nothing. You just beat them. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I love you. Boom, 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 boom. They say, you joking, right? He said, no, he dead serious. I had a girlfriend and that she feel I don't love her, I don't beat her. And that's how being starting to act. Like politicians feel like, like they got to beat us because if they don't put blows on us, we might think they love us. That's how we starting. The mentality seems to be, because the more they beat on Bahamians, the more they love them. I don't understand it. But let's go back to the phone lines. Good afternoon, you live.
Good afternoon, Lincoln. How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Yes. That video Saturday, if any Bahamian could hear, see, and whatnot, they see exactly what's going on. But let me tell you something. All of that theatrics happened with the commissioner of the policeman when he came in and how he was scolded. You notice he only went directly to one set of people. Right?
Yeah.
He only went to one set of people. He wasn't interested in what was going on. But let me tell you something. I don't know whatnot. Right on the thing.
Yeah.
And my neighbor next door. Let me show you how my neighbor next door to the property that I own don't even live in the Bahamas. And some people was there. They call a lawyer, watch it now, they call a lawyer. A lawyer went to the courts and they give the person 2 days notice. And guess how they give it to them? They stick it on a pole. They stick it on a pole, like the poor entrance into the land where they had their temporary light. They entrance into the pole. The second day, the dozer was there knocking down without the owner being there. I say that to show that when it comes to, that's why they call it private property. Even if you look at when they buy property, so-called on our beaches, don't they fence it off?
Yep.
Do they fence it off? Do you people is argue over a tree going over into the yard? They'll go to court and say, look here, that tree grown on into my property. Get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go, the police have nothing to do with that. Nothing. The only thing they could do is assist you all and to manage the peace. It doesn't matter how high up they is or how low down that is. They only there to manage the peace. And let me show you how dangerous that could even run. What if the woman, and I just gonna say this and I can leave.
Yes.
What if the owner of the property just give direction to the person that she brought, what was the bulldozers, what was on her property, and say, even though the commissioner, and this is something I think the Royal Bahamas police can answer. What if she to tell the police, and the guy was in the tractor, wrote down, continue on doing because it was sufficient notice. Because the last time I checked, wasn't something almost similar happening when a guy went to the courts? He gave some people notice, and the man was almost in the house when he ran it through. The bulldozer, in the Bahamas, the man ran his bulldozer through the house. And the people there, because the people was on his property. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
The people was on his property. I'm just trying to say, if I carve rules to what y'all are over taxes and non-property taxes and all this stuff, I have a right to say that Mr. Lincoln Bean assisting me of what I'm doing on my property, yes or no, right?
Yep.
And once she answered that, they supposed to stand down. I'm only asking, they supposed to stand down, right?
Yes.
And here's another thing that bothered me, what Eyewitness News. The guy was given, he incriminated himself. Because he tell you every rule of the Bahamas, because you have rules that regulate the Bahamas to say that your house should be built this way and built this way. He telling you all he been there for X, Y, Z amount of times.
Mm-hmm.
And he was living on, in this site where he trying to tell you he was avoiding taxes, property taxes. He was avoiding everything that was ruled in the Bahamas.
Wow.
But I don't see nobody going back to that village and ask the question, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you living here? Why? See, the question's being asked and whatnot. It's like I feel, I don't care how long ago, that woman being more than hard empathy to people. So what people throwing out there is nonsense. And she, to me, her mind, she's a godly woman. Because let's just change the temperature in the room. If that was a white person, do you think that all of this patience she tolerated would have been tolerated?
No.
If they don't want that person off that land?
No.
You get what I'm trying to say? They know when the police come there, they know you always can stand on. That's the difference. They know you always can stand on. By law, even if she to tell them, okay, continue on with the construction and whatnot, even if the police to jump on that, you all have a case.
Yeah.
A big case. But it's
all right.
To me, all right, have a nice night.
Thank you, man. Let me make this clear to all of you watching this right now. They say that these are your Haitian brothers and sisters, etc. A foreigner cannot own land in Haiti. You cannot own land in Haiti. A Haitian who leaves Haiti and is living elsewhere cannot own land in Haiti. They protect their land. We don't. You cannot go and run for president, even if you live there for years, for 100 years if you want to, and you become a citizen of Haiti. You cannot become the president, the vice president, or hold any public office. They protect their country. Why is it that people feel that we are doing something wrong because we insist that we protect our nation? How is that? How are we doing something wrong? By protecting what is ours. I call on all Bahamians to rethink the Bahamas. Let's think again about what has been happening. This Bahamas that we currently live in is expired. It's not working for us. It is spoiled. It is past its use by date. It is time for a new Bahamas. It's time to throw that spoiled milk, and it's time for something fresh. That one ain't working. The exercise of giving Bahamians jobs and having foreigners train them, that was the wrong exercise. The exercise of us owning this economy is the right exercise. This is the new Bahamas. In the new Bahamas, we will own our economy. Let's go to the phone line one more time. Good evening, you're live. Yes. Go ahead, you're live.
Ask the question, where is BK Bonamy and his team when the Bahamians in Abaco were being chased out of the dome? Like, I'm just wondering, there were Bahamians that literally were in a situation from a natural disaster.
And they had nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. They didn't go on anyone's land illegally. They're Bahamians, so any land, any crown land, any generational property, it belongs to them. They said they destroyed those domes. Their excuses were they destroyed the domes because it was not livable. Where these illegal immigrants are living, it's not livable. They are on other person's land. They are collecting rent illegally. And yet, they are telling you that we cannot destroy the property. We cannot take this money. We cannot have a property. What I would actually do if I was that lady, the very person who's collecting rent, or the Bahamian that is standing up for the person who's collecting rent illegally, I would sue them for every penny those persons said that they paid, even if it's untrue. Because they spoke it and they are backing these persons up, I would sue hands off of them.
Well, we're going to assist her with filing her lawsuit. And also criminal complaints are going to be made with reference to all of this. And finally, that man gave his name on the news. So that's a breakthrough right there, because he wouldn't give his name before. And so to Mr. France, you scumbag, you evil gentleman, we got you.
Yep.
We got you. You will not get away with what you did to that Bahamian woman. You say Lincoln Bain coming there to fight? Lincoln Bain is coming for you.
Yeah.
To deal with you within the law, but we coming for you. Thank you for your call, Mom. We appreciate it.
All right, good night.
All right. It's about time the world knows Bahamians. It's about time we get respect in our country. We have to be the most docile people in the world. We have rules in this country where, you know, a foreigner can come and do things we can't do. We can't go in the casino and gamble. I have guests from out of town all the time, and they don't even understand that. So you could just stand here while I can make a bet, and you can't? Why? Because my sin is I'm a Bahamian. There are so many laws that make it a sin to be a Bahamian in this country. We cannot invest in the stock market outside of this country because their sin is that you're a Bahamian. It's almost impossible to get investment money from outside of this country. Your sin is you're a Bahamian. They treat Bahamians like nothing. I want a Bahamas where we are something. Who told you that you were nothing? Who taught you that? A new Bahamas and a new Bahamian is rising up. It's time for us to stand up. Stop hiding your face. It's time to stand up. Stop worrying about your job and your mortgage. It's time to stand up. We got to take this. They are fighting for our land while we are afraid to stand up. This is your last chance, Bahamas. We are on the verge. The enemy is at the gate. The enemy is at our borders, and they have come to take our land. And our government is fighting with the enemy. This is the first time in the history of the world that this has happened anywhere in the world. A country is being invaded, and the government itself is fighting for the invaders. That has never happened in the history of the world. That is treason. Just want to remind you that we are going to Miami. And so within the next couple of days, I'll be able to give you all the information. We're going to Miami, and we're going to have some events down there. Bahamians in Miami who are fed up and disgusted at what they're seeing and what they saw on the 15th of February, the darkest day in our country's history. They are going to the Bahamian embassy. They're inviting the media, and they are going to send documentation to the Bahamian embassy. We are also filing documents that are going to the United Nations. We are also filing lawsuits for every single instance that they broke our rights. Let me tell you something. Every single Bahamian involved in that Bahama incident is going to be rich. Even if they told you to move from this side of the street and go to the next side, you're rich. That's against the law. That's called compulsion. They can't tell you, do nothing. If they tried to take your phone but wasn't successful, you're rich. If they picked you up and carried you in the car and carried you to Sanders Beach and then threw you out of the car, you're rich. If they moved you from on the street by Bahama and took you to Goodman's Bay, you're rich. Every single Bahamian who participated and your rights were violated, you will be wealthy beyond measure. Somebody says, Lincoln, don't talk all the business, the enemy is here. This is the business. If you were there, rich. We're going to make them and break them. It's time. Let me look at I got about 6 minutes left, and I'll take us an hour and a half. Let me look at some of your comments. Some of your comments, if you have any questions, because I always focus on the phone. Someone says, if we don't move this government, we will regret it big time. Your children, their children will regret it. That simple. We have to spread the message. They cannot beat us on the ground game. They cannot beat us mouth to ears, I should say. They cannot beat us word of mouth. The reason I have these lives is for you to get the information, for you to give it to your friends and family. You can spread the message. They can twist the media. They can let the media put all these lies out there. But what they're saying is that only, 10, 20,000 people are going to watch his lives. And if 20,000 people watch his lives, that's only 10% of the voters. The other 90% wouldn't get to see it. The other 90% is your job. The other 90% is your job. And so you as a Bahamian, you have to stand up and make it happen. Get your 10 people. Focus on your 10 people. Make sure every single time you spread the message to at least 10 people. We will win the numbers game. You have to spread the message. You have to evangelize, which means to move the message. That's how we're going to do this. Don't be shy. You're on the bank line and people start complaining. Yeah, you talk about the new Bahamas. You talk about how disgusting this government is. You talk about how they're the same. This is not going to happen because we do the right thing. I had some people saying, go door to door. No, you go door to door. You see, your family and friends trust you more than they will trust anyone else. They trust you. Your children trust you. They're not focused on politics. They're into entertainment right now. And so when it's time to vote, they're going to hear what you have to say. You have to tell them what to do this time. You have to educate them and inform them. We need the new Bahamas for them. You got to make this happen for them. You. Our natural resources are so valuable. I want to show a clip because a lot of our people that have been following us have never watched the documentaries. And I want to show a clip from this documentary because the difference between us and everyone else who's talking about natural resources before, the difference is we were able to show you where our aragonite was being sold in the market while they were lying and telling you that we had no natural resources, then they told you that our natural resources had no value. I want you to see this clip. For those of you who are still out, it's still early. I want you to see this clip. It's about 10 minutes or so. I want you to watch this clip. This is the one that changed everything. This caused us to now have a Ministry of Natural Resources because we were able to prove. There are people before us who talked about Ministry of Natural Resources. They even did a petition for it, and they were ignored. But when we showed that y'all are lying, we see our product on the international stage. We see it on the internet. Watch this. I'll be back in 10 minutes. This is what the New Bahamas is about. Don't get fully distracted with the legal limits. Our sovereign wealth fund, our natural resources, our carbon credits, they're not talking about that. Stay focused.
Look at it. Remember, this is the same packaging that they had on their website. This is their product. And so this is at petbarn.com, petbarn.com. And so this aragonite is what they use for fish aquariums around the world. This is a 9-kilogram bag. And so that is about 20 pounds, just under 20 pounds. So this is a 9-kilogram bag of Aqua Natural Oolitic Aragonite Sand. Look at how much money they're getting for one 20-pound bag. $63 for one 20-pound bag. Let's do the math. And so if it's 9 kilograms, there's 1,000 kilograms in a metric ton. And so if you do the math, 1 metric ton that they paid $2 for is on the market for up to $7,000 they're making off of that $2 metric ton. Surely this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Wow, this is mind-blowing. Of course, in other places, we found, like on Amazon.com, it sells for much cheaper. But this is the high end, and this is the end result. So we found this for much less, sometimes half of what we see here. So if it's half of the 7,000, then maybe it's about 3,000 that they can make from that metric ton. If it's a little less than that, maybe it's 2,000. There is no industry in the world that I can think of where that kind of profit can be made. This makes aragonite more valuable than gold, more valuable than diamonds. There's no other product in the world that you can pay $2 a metric ton for and sell for thousands of dollars. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7,000, there is no product where this is doable. And so this is a major industry. And this is why we say our aragonite is worth trillions. Okay, so let me put this in perspective for you. Right now, a barrel of crude oil is selling for about $41.68. Okay, and so there's about 42 gallons in a barrel. So that's roughly about $1.01 per gallon. So let's say $1 per gallon. And so that's the raw material. The street value to the gasoline pump is $2.19 per gallon. So they spend $1 on the crude oil, but the final product is $2.19. That's the street value. With aragonite, their cost of the material is $2 per ton. $2 per metric ton. And the street value is up to $7,000 per metric ton. To be fair, in most cases we found it cheaper, but that is the ultimate price. In some cases, we found it at $35 for the bag, and in some cases, we found it at $18 per bag, even cheaper. But in any event, that is thousands of dollars per metric ton. You do the math. But this is not even the big story here. The big story is what is on the packaging. And we've been showing you the packaging all this time. But we really want to show you what's really on this packaging. And so we're going to zoom into this packaging and show you what you have not been seeing on this packaging. It's mind-blowing. Let's do a little close-up. Now, look at this packaging. Isn't that beautiful packaging? Look at the blue and the light blues and the cute little fishy. Look at Nemo. Nemo is playing around with our aragonite. But a closer look will show you what's really going on in the Bahamas. What the government is really hiding and pretending not to know. Wow, look at that. If you read carefully, a closer look will show you the truth. It says genuine marine aragonite from the Bahamas. Wow, they are actually advertising on their packaging, not just on their website, that this is genuine marine aragonite from the Bahamas. This is our aragonite. This is the aragonite that our government doesn't seem to know that it exists. Oh my God, it does exist. But wait, there's more. It says ethically harvested under lease from the Bahamian government. Wow, they are putting that on the packaging. Can you imagine? Not just is it genuine marine aragonite from the Bahamas, they are also putting right on the front of the packaging that it is ethically harvested under lease from the Bahamian government. Right on the packaging. Wow. And so they are selling our sand and using our country's name to sell our sand. And our government is saying that they're going to have to do research and find out if there's a market out there, if there's any way to make money from this aragonite, because somehow we really don't know that there's a market out there, and we don't know that they're selling our aragonite right now. This is presently on the market, on Amazon, on Chewy.com, on PetBarn.com. This stuff is being sold all over the internet and on the ground right now and in pet stores all over America right now as we speak, our aragonite. But wait, there's more. Turn over to the back of the product and then you'll actually see. And so on the back it says, Bahamian sand is raw, naturally renewable marine aragonite sand. And it is 98% pure calcium carbonate. In other words, we have the good stuff. And so to be honest, our products are all over the internet, all over. Here we find on Amazon.com. If you look carefully, you will see the same product, the Aqua Natural. You can see that it's selling for about $35. So at this price, that means that they're making $3,895, so $3,900 per metric ton. That's what they're making because it's $35 for a 20-pound bag. And so our products are all over the internet. And it's not just that stuff. There's so many different products. Look, there's sand. They're selling play sand. But look at the name of the play sand. Just look at the name. Baja Play Sand by Sandy Key. We've heard that name in the news recently. But we'll come back to that. Baja Play Sand. They're even using our name. Look at it. Oh, isn't that cute? Baja Play Sand. And it is selling for $21.19 per bag. And so that price, that's about $2,450 per metric ton that they're making for this metric ton that they paid $2 for. And so again, look what it says on the back. It says it right there. Bahamian aragonite sand possesses numerous advantages, making it a superior play sand. So again, the Bahamas product is being sold as the superior product. It goes on. Bahamian aragonite is an ideal play sand material that is both safe for your child and environmentally friendly. It is pure aragonite sand, ethically and sustainably harvested from the crystal clear oceans of the Bahamas. This is phenomenal, and it is a phenomenal business, and it is definitely and clearly a business that can make lots and lots of money for the Bahamas and for the Bahamian people. And so what we need to know is, so who are the persons making money from the selling of our aragonite? And why is the Minister of Environment pretending not to know that there is already a vibrant industry? Why are they making it seem like they have to go and research to see if there can be a vibrant industry? Why weren't they telling us this? Why weren't they telling us that our sand is being sold all over the world right now and being packaged? Not just used for things like building and concrete and that kind of stuff, but being sold in beautiful little packages right now. And so what we want to do is find out who is behind all of this. Who is behind Calcean? And we see some very interesting players in the game. And we see some other connected companies connected apparently to players in this game. And so our search took us all the way to the good old state of Alabama. And so that's where we found the owners of Calcean, this company that is advertised on the internet, that has a big warehouse down there in Alabama. And we found who is behind this company. We wanted to know who these Alabamians were who were benefiting from our sand and selling it all over the world and apparently making a lot of money. And so as we searched, we came up with their address, we found where they're located, and they're registered as a foreign limited liability company. That's interesting. You can see that they were registered in Delaware, and we can see that this particular company formed in 2014, all right? And it's owned by none other than Anthony Myers. That name looks familiar. He's definitely someone that does business in the Bahamas. We know that name. Anthony Myers. He's been in the aragonite business for many, many years. In fact, he is also one of the principals at Bahama Hot Mix, a very well-known company connected to Brent Simonet. Wow, and his brother, Craig Simonet. And so these are Bahamians. And so Brent Simonet is in government, so he knows about aragonite. He knows what's going on. This mining has been going on for a long time. We have seen Brent Simonet has been in the aggregate business for quite some time. We saw what they did to the hills just south of the East Street roundabout. They tore down all of those hills, sold the aggregate, and then they built a shopping center. Anthony Myers is behind this company. Wow. So the truth is, we found many companies that are dealing with aragonite from the Bahamas. And so it's strange to us to see that the government seems to not know that aragonite is really already a big business in the Bahamas. It's strange to us to see that they feel that they have to go and investigate this to see if it is a viable business when it is already a business that has been going on for quite some time. Why are they acting like they don't know about this? Like the young people say, they think they slick. This is documentation of another company, and this is CACO3 Aragonite Products Inc. And this is another company that does aragonite. They're also known as, and here you can see their name, CAC Aragonite Products Inc. And they're also known as a different company, but first I'll show you what they do. They said that they registered in
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a little snippet. I recommend you go to our website. I'm about to load those into our WhatsApp group so we can start sharing them in WhatsApp again, the little clips. There's going to be a couple of clips from that, but you can go to our website, Coalition of Independence, and independence is spelled with a T-S, not a C-E. coalitionofindependence.com, and you can look at the videos, the documentaries, and you can see everything. Bahamas, we are wealthy beyond measure. That's one natural resource. Can you imagine a natural resource that is on the market selling for up to $7,000 a metric ton? And the foreigners were asked to pay $2, not 2,000, not 200, $2 per metric ton. And $2 they were not collecting. Bahamas, they had us for the conquer all these years, but we are going to transform the Bahamas into something different. We are going to be the owners of this economy. So the same thing that Dubai did. Dubai formed companies. So their country's debt meant nothing. So they say, oh, the country has $12 billion debt. That's going to mean nothing because we're going to form companies to do business under. And these companies are not only going to get rid of our debt, but it's going to be able to operate without our debt as a handicap. Because there are some major institutions in the world that use the debt to keep our countries down. But of course, we've seen countries that got out of it. They use certain strategies. I'm not going to say everything, but we need you to trust that the new Bahamas is ready, researched, and we're ready to take this country to the next level. We had a chance to buy Morton Salt during the lockdown. Morton Salt was up for sale, not in Inagua, worldwide. We could have been the country that controls the world's salt, that has the biggest lock on the world's salt. We would have had the salt from in our country. We could have used other salt mines, salt ponds, other than in Inagua, used in Inagua, Cat Island, Exuma, etc., and all of the 11 salt palm, 11 to 13 salt palms that they have all around our country. And we could have been the nation selling the most salt. It used to be India's #1 industry. It could have become our #1 industry. And for a few $100 million, we could have bought Morton Salt globally. But we had no leaders with vision. And they're going to tell you all kind of things. They're going to say, oh, we don't like how, Lincoln does things. We don't like how Maria speaks. We don't like this and that. But how about you like how we can take this country into the next Bahamas? How with vision we can transform this nation? That is what we need. We could have owned the salt industry. Also during the lockdowns, cruise ships were being sold for almost nothing. They were selling them for scrap metal because it was cheaper. We had to sell it for scrap metal than to be maintaining them out to sea. Having a staff to maintain them and all this kind of stuff is more expensive. So they were selling cruise ships for almost free, fire sale prices. We could have bought several good cruise ships and started our cruise ship industry. The Bahamas, there was an opportunity there. These guys go and borrow $500 million and we don't see where it goes. We don't know what that's for. They'll borrow $6 billion in one term. And it's like, where did this money go? We didn't see it. Where did this money go? How about we stop borrowing money to pay off debt and start borrowing money that we can get money from that will pay off? Isn't this simple? Isn't this really simple? We're going to say, oh, we need qualified people that wear coat suit. Who's your team? Listen, we have a team of civil servants already there who are handcuffed by politicians getting in their way. There are other civil servants that need to go there. There are professionals, Bahamian professionals all over this world that need to come home and assist us with building the new Bahamas. That's the team. There are a lot of Bahamian professionals who don't want to participate in the election process. They're ready to help build the new Bahamas. All they need is a government ready to empower Bahamians and put the policies in place to empower us. There are opportunities there. We're bragging about 7 million tourists. They just made a big deal out of the fact that we had 6 cruise ships in the cruise port. That was big news for them. They were so proud of that. We had 6 cruise ships, 28,000 tourists one time. What they didn't tell you is the majority of those tourists didn't leave the ship. That's what they didn't tell you. If you look closely on these ships in this picture, you will see people still on board. Look carefully, do a close up, and you're going to see on those decks, there are still people on the decks and in the ship. You could hardly see anyone on the dock. As some of them came off, if 28,000 people come to your shore, and if 10% of them come off the ship, or 20% of them come off the ship, there's more than You know, there's almost 6,000 people. Look like a lot of people, but that's a small percentage of persons coming off ship. We need to build an Nassau that has something for our tourists to do. Go on our website, look at our plan for tourism. It's right there. We're moving from our Ministry of Tourism being an advertising agency to moving to our Ministry of Tourism investing in tourism. What Dubai did was they formed companies and every single citizen had a share in that. Others could buy more shares in it if they wanted to, but everyone got a share in that. And then from that, you pay out dividends to your people. So we are going to have cruise ships that cruise the Bahamas and take tourists, spread the tourism product around the Bahamas, to different islands. So not any private key somewhere, but no, we're going to take the tourists to Grand Bahama, to Abaco, to Island, to Andres. We're going to take the tourists there and we're going to make things on those islands. We're going to invest in Bahamians, give them grants to form, to make activities for the tourists. Activities is what's missing in the Bahamas. Activities. We are going to immediately revamp Bay Street. Immediately. So those persons who own those buildings and they're doing nothing with them, we just letting you know ahead of time. Don't say you didn't know. We are coming to take those buildings and we're going to do something with them. All right? And we already know how it's going to be done. We are going to revamp our country. Bay Street will be a walking-only thoroughfare. You drive around Wood Rogers Walk and Shirley Street. There'll be tables in the street. There'll be Junkanoo on the clock. Like when you go to Disney World, they have that parade every hour. There'll be Junkanoo. Tourists don't have to come at the end of the year to see Junkanoo. The forts will have displays at night, the changing of the guard and cannon fire. Waterworks going on. They need something to come to. Dubai gave people something to see. What is it to see in the Bahamas? The beach? Yeah, that's pretty. But beaches all over. We need vision, y'all. We need vision. And so we're really hoping that you are ready for the new Bahamas. We certainly are. I'm ready for the new Bahamas, and we're ready for that change. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in today. And before we leave, I just wanted to take this time to say condolences to the family of Hilary DeVoe, my friend. I met her when I was a police officer on Bay Street. I think she was working at one of the perfume stores. I was a young man, 18 years old, just on the police force. Hilary DeVoe has passed away. She was suffering from lupus, and she's passed away. She ran in the DNA last election for Elizabeth constituency. It's my friend. She will forever be missed. She was a good woman. Spoke to her. She was ready to come over to the COI. But she didn't make it to the New Bahamas. But we will make it to the New Bahamas for her. Thank you for your service, Hilary. Thank you for everything you've done. You're gone, but you will never, ever, ever be forgotten. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this. What we need is vision to take us into the New Bahamas. And we need people that are willing to just bring the change that we need. Professional Bahamians all over the world ready to come back home. Your educated, your college educated children want to come back home. You want them to come back home. We are losing our families. We got to bring them home. Yes, I have a dream. I have a dream to bring our children back home and not have them replaced with illegal immigrants. That's my dream. To have a Bahamas, that's for Bahamians. That is my dream. Let's bring our children home. Let's bring our professionals with all of the experience that they have from around the world. Let's bring them home. Let's build colleges, because universities, because we have Bahamians working at universities around the world. Let's build hospitals because we have Bahamians running major hospitals around the world. There are Bahamians working at Universal Studios, working at Google, working at all of these places. Come on, man. Let's, Bahamas, y'all, please don't fall for the tricks anymore. This is our chance to spread our wings. This is our chance to let go of the PLP and FNM, who are the same. It's the last video I can share out for the night. This Hubert Alexander Ingram telling you that the PLP and FNM are the same. There's no difference. He was doing an interview at something the FNM was having. And he told us, he told the person who was questioning him that this young man used to be a DNA. And he was at this event, this afternoon event. And he asked Ingram the difference. Watch this.
Who became what minister? So the question that I would like to ask to former Prime Minister Ingram, if he could describe it, how would you describe the political philosophy of the FNM, particularly as it compares to the PLP? We talked a lot about differences tonight, but I'm curious to know your perspective on where that biggest philosophical difference lies.
So I don't know what the differences are nowadays, but you know, because honestly, because the differences between the FNM and the PLP became more and more difficult to design during the last FNM administration than before. That's the reality, you know. I never knew. What I did know is that they were more likely to go against what we had done before, and more likely to do what the PLP had done than they did with us. He is not going to carry my things anywhere. and if I can't get it, you will have it.
That's a witch.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We did almost 2 hours, and all of you stayed. And so for everyone who was here, remember to spread the word, share the message, continue to share. And in about a month time, we're going, just under a month, we're going to Miami with Bahamians over in Miami, and we are going to make a statement for all Bahamians. I really want to thank you for this, but we are going to make this change together, and we're going to bring the vision that this country needs. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. They're not going to take us off of our natural resources. That is where it is. Because right now, all of the foreigners have the money. They're making the money. They're getting the jobs. They live free. The illegal immigrants are living free, and they're making money that we can't make. The other foreigners are coming with money and making more money here. And so we're getting left out. We are becoming last class in our country. And if you don't stand with me, it's going to be over. Because neither the PLP nor the FNM is going to do anything about this. We're going to benefit from our natural resources. Those products are going to have our names on it. We're going to sell to the world. We're going to transform this nation. All you got to do is stand with me. By standing with me, you're standing with yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want you to remember and to never forget that change is not coming. Change is here. As usual, we're going to leave you with a video to inspire you. But if you don't do something, we're done. See you next time.
Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dancing. Because I always be and share with you. Because you are me and I am you. And I'll be here with you always. And those who knew me from the past and know me now, they always knew and I was there and always been there for you. I don't call y'all, y'all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian, and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later. Hey, long now.
Are you all ready and willing to go?
You know, a lot of people wonder how Dubai became a very big, famous and rich city.
You see, if you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. That's what brings your country at the top. You don't need anything. We want water, we don't have agriculture, we don't have mining.
That's quite interesting.
And that's Sheikh Mohammed. Number one, he doesn't know number two, he needs only number one. He says, I don't know, there's no number two in my book. Only number one.
And yeah, he doesn't ride in the convoy.
I don't know how you did this in 50 years. You look at history. Who does this? Show me anybody else that has done this in 50 years. I'm waiting. Show them to me. This wasn't done by money. Money doesn't produce visions. Visions produce money. You've had leadership over here that were visionaries, great visionaries, and their vision was more about the people than the money, because you can't accomplish this in 50 years without loving your people first, because the people are the ones that's benefiting from this. Look at your health care, look at your road system, look at your highway system, look at your airports. Who does this in 50 years? But who benefits? You're going to care about those people. It's something to be learned about what's been done over here that could be duplicated in the world, because there's people with this much money. You just don't have people with this much love for their people.